studying Korean now, which I didn't want to sit down and learn. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Catherine and today I'm starting my September language recap. Today is September 1st and it's Wednesday, so I'm gonna do some Italian. To be honest, I haven't done a lot in August. You will see it in my August language recap, but today I just want to focus on this textbook and then maybe also a little bit of German, because lately I've been feeling like I really want to get back into German. I've also been feeling the same way for Spanish after finishing watching Grand Hotel. In July, I think I watched that. That show is just like amazing. Go check it out. And I actually really want to watch that show in Spanish. It's a Spanish show, but I watched it in Russian. But I want to watch it like the original. And yeah, I'm gonna do Italian today, but what comes to goals, I'm not gonna set goals for myself for September, because if I set goals and I just don't achieve them, I feel very disappointed, and I know that work and university and stuff like that is gonna get in the way. I just feel way too tired to do languages after I come back from work at night, and it's just like things get in the way, and if I don't complete the goals, I feel very disappointed, and it's my least favorite thing in the world to feel disappointed in myself. Focus on 1 to 2 languages every quarter. So this quarter, I think it's gonna be like until the end of the year, it's gonna be like Spanish and German, because I've been kind of like not doing much with those 2 languages this year. And yeah, like in March and from March to July, I pretty much didn't do anything, but I still kind of had Italian here and there, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna forget Italian and Lithuanian. I'm still gonna keep it in mind, and I'm still gonna try and watch some things and do some apps and stuff like that, but my main focus is gonna be on Spanish and German. So yeah, I hope that it actually works out. So I have a few things to update you on. So first up, I actually decided that I want to focus mostly on reading and listening and writing, of course, and I'm not gonna focus so much on grammar, because I've realized that learning grammar, like sitting down and actually learning grammar from a textbook, is pretty useless when you can't use the grammar in your daily life. Whereas when you read or you write, you produce the text, you read the text, you already have the grammar and you learn it naturally. And my main goal has never been to speak perfectly correctly. My main goal has always been to actually be able to speak and not be afraid to speak. When I was studying in Lithuania, I never thought about speaking grammatically correctly, and my classmate, she was always correcting my grammar, and it was just so frustrating, because I always told her that, like, don't focus so much on grammar, just speak, you know, just talk to people. And she was like constantly correcting me, and honestly I feel like people would understand what you are saying even if you are saying some things wrong, and even if you don't conjugate the verbs correctly or whatever, you know. And yeah, I feel like look at my bookshelves. I've read so many books in English, and I feel like grammar just came naturally to me. So I would love to read books in Spanish and books in German. I am not as good in Italian to read books in Italian yet. But I also, another thing that I wanted to mention is that I feel like I'm gonna get the Lingopie. If you don't know what Lingopie is, it's basically like a Netflix for language learners, and yes, you can watch a lot of foreign movies on Netflix in many languages. You can find a lot of videos about best Netflix TV shows or best movies to watch on Netflix to learn Italian, Spanish, Chinese, whatever. But Lingopie has clickable subtitles, so you can stop at any moment. You can translate, it gives you translations and all of that, and this is not sponsored. I would love to be sponsored by them, but I feel like this could actually benefit me because I've always struggled with finding movies, finding content in Spanish, German, and Italian to watch. And that's why I haven't watched a single German movie yet. Like, I've started, but I never finished because they were not really interesting, and it was such a pain to find them. But if I get Lingopie, that's like right there, I can get it. And yes, you have to pay for it. It's not much. It's like right now they have sale. I think it's like €5 a month, so that's like so cheap, and I get so much. And if I actually get it, I will probably do a review. And yeah, another thing is that yesterday I didn't do a lot of languages. I only wrote a little text in German. Eventually I would like to write an entire page, but just yesterday I was just so tired and I didn't know what to write about, so I wrote a small text about Asia, and there are just a few words that I didn't know, so I have to fill them in. If you want me to make a video on how I write texts in foreign languages, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I feel like that's all I wanted to say. Oh no, actually I wanted to also talk about language challenges. So I've been super motivated lately, and I feel like I've been the most motivated this entire year. Like, the September is the most I've ever been motivated this year. I hope it makes sense. Does it make sense? I don't know. Anyway, so I've really wanted to try 7-day 40-hour challenge, where you basically study for 40 hours during 7 days, but it's literally impossible with my life right now because I work 42 hours and then I have a second job and I have YouTube and I have other things that I want to do, and you know, all of that. But instead I thought I would do like a month-long challenge, maybe like 50 hours throughout the month, you know, like NaNoWriMo in November when you have to write 50,000 words in 30 days. Maybe I would do something like 50 hours in 30 days, which is still a lot and it would still be challenging for me, but it's a lot easier than doing 40 hours in 7 days. So let me know if you would like to participate in something like that, and we can think of something. So yeah, right now I'm gonna do Spanish. I'm gonna do Spanish reading. I've been doing this reading and podcast, this one episode, for like, this is gonna be the third day, I think. I've been doing it since Sunday, so it's a long one, okay? So yeah, let's do it. So I finished this text, and it was actually a transcription of the podcast, as I said. And do you want to see how much it took me? So it starts here and it goes all the way here, and then this page and this page. So what I did, obviously I didn't translate everything because it has the transcription in Spanish and then transcription in English. So I was reading and translating as I went, and I only wrote down the most important things, like some phrases, some vocabulary, some phrases from the transcript that are sounded interesting to me, and some important phrases, like, for example, this, like, I study Spanish for hobby, or for example, I really like this one. Quiero compartir contigo mi experiencia con el aprendizaje de español. I would like to share with you my Spanish experience, and then like some other, like for example, fue una pesadilla, it was a nightmare, like things that I would use in a daily conversation, that I could use potentially in a conversation with someone. And then in the end I just wrote down a few of the vocabulary. I'm not gonna learn them as like a vocabulary list or flashcards or anything, but it's useful to have them here for reference and, like, you know, for later. Halfway through the month, and I thought I would give you a little update on my progress. So I'm making my way through Between Shades of Grey. This is my favorite book of all time, and for my TBR circus I was supposed to read a historical wood read, so I am killing two birds with one stone and rereading my favorite book, which is historical fiction, plus I have it in Lithuanian. So this morning I read 20 pages and I'm on page 41. I know I am not, it's just very slow, and I mean, this book is not slow, but I read slower in Lithuanian than in Latvian or English, so yeah, that's that. And also this morning I listened to a German podcast episode while I was cooking breakfast. It was like 10 minutes, and now I think I really want to do some work with my textbook. I think I said I don't want to work with textbooks anymore. I want to do more immersion stuff. But yesterday I had a very large pull towards this textbook, but I had to do a bunch of other stuff for home, just like around the house. My mom was cooking jam, so I had to help her, and so I'm gonna do it this morning. I am still gonna do a lot more immersion, but I just really want it, and if I really want to do something in my textbook, then I will do it, you know, I will just do whatever I want, so let's go. I made myself cacao, and I finally have time to read my favorite book. September 19th, Sunday, and today I kind of feel like doing a little bit of German. I kind of miss German, which is very weird because up until the point that I've changed my mindset from I must do this to I get to do this, I was very rarely missing a language, and I didn't want to practice much. I didn't want to sit down and learn, and I've actually read a little bit from my book in Lithuanian. My plan for today is to read 100 pages. I've read about 60, but it's like almost 5 p.m. so I'm gonna spend the evening doing that. But right now I'm doing the German. I have my map, my folder, not my map. I mix the words, I mix the languages in my head, and I'm doing some, I reviewed some things from the hotel, some useful phrases with that you can use in a hotel, because again, traveling, so I'm really focusing on very relevant topics right now, like topics that I will actually be using in real life when I travel. I really want to go to Austria, where I know it's a different dialect of German, but I'm pretty sure they will still understand. Like when I was in Austria in 2015, they understood what I was trying to say in a very, very bad German. So now I have time to improve, and yeah, that would be really cool. And also I'm doing some verb, refreshing my memory on some verbs, and I really need to work on my grammar as well. But yeah, I don't know, that's for another day probably. What's up? It is Friday, and I thought I would give you a quick update because there are a lot of things to say, so I actually have time to study today. We normally have classes from 9 till 4, but today, thankfully, something came up and our teacher can do the class from 1 till 5, which means I have time for languages. So I think I showed you on Wednesday that I wrote this entire text about my first time in Spain, and I actually went through it, but today I spent about 20 minutes rewriting it in a neat form, and I actually really loved it, and I wanted to start writing another essay in Spanish because I enjoyed it so much. But I checked my language tracker and I realized I haven't done anything in German and Italian since Sunday, so I probably should do that. So I think I have a few exercises left in Lezione 2 that I have to do, and then I can move to Lezione 3. And so yeah, I will just gonna do that, and I've spent like 10 to 20 minutes a day reading Between Shades of Grey. I am now on page 252 and it has 320-ish pages, so I think I'm actually gonna go and take a bubble bath and just read a little bit of that after I do my Italian. And I would love to finish this book this weekend and just start and like read something in English just to unwind, because reading in Lithuanian is more difficult than reading in English. Reading in English is a lot more effortless, whereas in this I just have to think so much, and I still haven't finished. I don't know if I told you this, but I started watching Always and Forever Lara Jean in Lithuanian, and I watched like 40 minutes and I'm enjoying it, but I just never go back, and I just continue watching a TV show in Russian that I've watched a billion times, and like I'm just rewatching it instead of watching things in Lithuanian. I don't know. Also, I have an extra week on LingoPie. The subscription ends tomorrow, and I haven't spent a single minute watching things on LingoPie this week, which is bad. Really, really bad. And another thing that I wanted to mention, that's been going on around my mind for about a week now, I don't know why I haven't told you about this, I always forget, is that I'm finally thinking about getting an italki tutor, and I think the language that I'm going to be doing it is Spanish, because I am very uncomfortable speaking in Spanish. So I think I've told you this a billion times. My pastor and his wife, they are from Argentina, and their native language is Spanish, and I could speak to them in Spanish, but it's just so out of my comfort zone to speak to them in my broken Spanish in church. I don't know, but yeah, I really want to get an italki tutor to practice my Spanish. I will probably start doing that in October, maybe, possibly, I don't know. I checked italki and the classes are not that expensive. I can definitely afford it, especially now with 2 jobs, but like, yeah. But I will probably do that like once every 2 weeks, not more, because just time. But yeah, I don't know. What else? I've been watching a ton of like Korean and Japanese Study With Me. I don't know why, it's so cool to watch people study Korean, and I am considering studying Korean now. like, I don't know, I think it's just so hard. It's like the writing seems so difficult, and it just intimidates me so much. And technically I know 2 alphabets. So I know Cyrillic alphabet, which is from my native language Russian, and I know Latin alphabet for all of the other languages that I speak, but like Korean alphabet just like intimidates me. I was also thinking about learning Greek, but the Greek alphabet intimidates me. So I just need to step out of my comfort zone, you know. But for now I'm focusing on these 4 languages that I'm already studying, and I just like this year I'm definitely not starting anything new because I don't want to start 5 languages and just be like very elementary in them. I want to get to intermediate or advanced level before I move to another language. So yeah, that is my quick update.